Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. In this video today, I wanted to talk about not TSM. Hey, let's all get excited. We have something a little bit different on this channel. And hey, I want to get back to covering more stuff. I want to get to talking about the LEC. I want to get talking about other LCS teams. We're definitely going to have more TSM and LCS videos coming out over the next few days. But one of the biggest stories from last season was the whole Alphari, TL, Jat controversy, benching, all this kind of fallout and drama that eventually obviously led to Jat's stepping down, resigning, getting fired, and obviously eventually led to Alphari leaving Team Liquid, going back to Europe, going back to the LEC, and ending up on Team Vitality. Now, we heard some things that happened, but we never really got the full story. But with as open and honest as Alphari is, I think we all kind of understood it was just a matter of time before he was going to talk about this again, before he was going to drop even more tidbits and information on us. And in this video today, we're going to be going over some new stuff that he has said that I think is very, very interesting. Some of it is stuff we maybe already knew or maybe could have already assumed, but some of it is very, very new. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate that a ton. And subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Help us run those numbers up a little bit. Last couple days have actually been really good. There's been a ton of drama, controversy, stories, all this stuff, and the numbers have been going up. With that being said, let's get right into this one. So Alphari recently went on the show, The Best Damn League Show with Thorin and I Will Dominate. I don't really know much about the show. Honestly, I've never watched it before. I think it's supposed to be a mostly LEC show. That could be wrong. I don't know. But in this video, it's an hour and 37 minutes where an hour and 15 minutes of it are talking about the LEC. But they do take the first 14 minutes and 50 seconds to talk about Alphari and his last season with Team Liquid. So obviously, I'm not going to be able to play 15 minutes worth of clips, but I did watch the whole 15 minutes. I'm going to be giving, some of my opinions and most important blurbs and things that were said in there. But if you guys do want to go watch it, it's, on the Insight on Esports channel. It's our most recent videos posted 13 hours ago. Go check it out. You can get kind of, all the words directly from Alphari's mouth. But that's what I'm basing this off of. This interview here with Thorin and Dominate from Alphari, and it's very, very interesting. So, one of the first things that he actually says is, obviously Alphari and Jat, they didn't see eye to eye. They didn't get along. That is no kind of mystery. We all understood that. Obviously, that was very, very clear. But he did let us know that, hey, Team Liquid really gave the keys to Jat. He had a ton of power. He could make decisions really without having to run it by anyone else. He had a lot of say. Team Liquid really, really trusted him. And Alphari is saying, hey, maybe he didn't deserve all that trust. Who even is this guy? He was just a caster. He talks really well, but is he an amazing coach? Did he have some kind of crazy, insane game knowledge? Did he really deserve as much power as he had? Alphari doesn't think so. And we'll get into that more of in a second. But he does say that, hey, essentially Jat had the power to make decisions. So, Jat pretty much decided, obviously, to bench Alphari. And Alphari says, hey, I never really got a great explanation of why I was benched. Obviously they came out publicly and said, hey, Alphari's having some personal issues. He just needs some time off. We're going to bench him for the time being. And Alphari says, hey, I did have some personal issues. I did have some things going on, but that's not why I was benched. I didn't say I needed to be benched. I didn't ask them to be benched, and that's not why they benched me. They didn't bench me because I was having personal issues. They benched me and then just said that to the public. And if that's true, obviously this is all from Alphari's word of mouth. We haven't heard specifically from Team Liquid. We haven't heard specifically from Jat. I don't think we ever will hear specifically from Team Liquid or Jat. But Alphari says, that they kind of lied publicly, that Jat and then, by kind of comparison, Team Liquid just lied. And they never really gave him a great answer. He said a full week, he didn't hear anything about, hey, what do I need to do to get better? How can I start again? How can I come back? And then obviously Alphari took to Twitter. He had all the memes about, making a spur of the moment decision, deciding between Chipotle and Chick-fil-A, all this stuff. And apparently Jat was very, very upset with that, very, very offended by that. And he let Alphari know, hey, I'm not happy that you're, tweeting this stuff about me. That hurts my feelings. That offends me, whatever. And Alphari says that was the first communication they had, was Jat not telling him, this is why you're benched. This is how you can get back. Here's what I want you to work on. Their first communication was, hey, I saw that stuff you were posting on Twitter. What the heck? And Alphari just, that really, really rubbed him the wrong way. And then from then on, he just says he could never really trust Team Liquid again. And obviously that was a very, very big issue. Now, some other very, very spicy stuff that he does say is he says in spring, there was a lot of people who on the team, players in the team who had an issue with Jat. They didn't really love Jat as a coach. They didn't think Jat was that great of a coach. There was a ton of issues. Now, he says himself specifically, they didn't have any issues till summer, whatever. He didn't think, problems were that great in the spring, but he knows other people were talking about things. And he said that really united the team and brought them together, which I thought was very, very interesting. But obviously, once all the stuff happened with him and Jat in the summer, then, he had some issues with Jat as well. He didn't necessarily love Jat or whatever was going on. And he even says that a player on the team kind of messaged him or was talking to him or saying to him that, hey, you and Jat having this very, very public debate issue, kind of drama, this is our chance to get rid of Jat. We need to take advantage of this. We need to go to management and say, hey, we need to get rid of this guy. Hey, something needs to be done about Jat. Hey, Jat needs to be gone. And apparently that player said, if we don't do this now, we're going to have to wait till after Worlds. If we don't get him out now, we're going to be stuck with him. And obviously, they think this team's special. They think this team's really good. Obviously, they went to Worlds and made a tiebreaker. They almost got out of groups. They knew that they were a good team with great potential. And it's very, very interesting because, most people thought the Team Liquid roster was pretty talented last year. Most people think they overall kind of underperformed. And obviously, there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. Obviously, the players, at least according to Alphari, didn't necessarily love Jat, didn't necessarily have Jat's respect. Things really, really weren't clicking. And obviously they got rid of Jat and maybe some things got better, maybe they didn't. But hey, bringing in a new coach mid-season and still having all these issues behind the scenes is really, really rough. And like Alphari said, even once Jat was kind of fired, resigned, whatever, once they moved on from him, he still could never really trust the organization again. And obviously that's what led him, to kind of leaving and going somewhere else. But I did think that was very, very interesting because we knew Jat and Alphari very publicly butted heads and had all these issues. But maybe other people knew. I don't know. I never really got the impression or really knew that other players were also having issues with Jat. And if they went as far as to say, hey, let's take this guy down. This is our chance. That's very, very crazy. That's very, very spicy. That's very, very interesting. Now, like I said, I really do believe that there's three sides to every story. I know it's probably an overused cliche expression or whatever, but there's going to be, his side, and then the truth's going to be somewhere in the middle. So who knows? This is just Alphari's perspective. If Jat or Team Liquid wants to share their perspective, we would all love to hear it. But I did think that, again, this video, hey, they talk about stuff for 15 minutes. There's a lot going on here, but Alphari does talk a lot about how, a lot of coaches in esports and League of Legends are not that good. A lot of players get in positions, or a lot of coaches get in positions that they probably don't deserve. Jat probably had too much trust given to him and too much power given to him way too soon in his coaching career. He hadn't proved himself or anything yet. They do say, though, that, hey, Jat's a good caster. He talks good. He does his job well, but that doesn't necessarily make you a good coach. And Alphari just kind of goes in depth talking about a lot of different things and stories that went on behind the scenes. And a lot of it doesn't sound great. A lot of it's pretty crazy. And Alphari actually says, one of the more interesting things he says as well is that, a lot of people say, oh, he's toxic, he's a tilter, he was bad for the team atmosphere or whatever. He even comes out and says that, hey, people will tell you that of all the players on the team last year, he was not the biggest tilter. Or I think he even says the first or second biggest tilter. There was other big tilters. There was other people having, kind of attitude issues or issues when the team would lose or struggle and all that stuff. So people saying that, oh, Alphari's just an ego or toxic or whatever, he's saying, hey, if that's getting blamed on me, then, why was I the one targeted? Why was I the first one to go down? Why was I the first one to have issues? And again, I still think it's very, very crazy that despite all of this, Team Liquid still ended up having a good run at Worlds. They were still a single game away from getting out of groups. And if they would have got out of groups, who knows what could have happened from there. But yeah, very, very interesting. I'm very, very happy that Alphari did come out and say some of these things, whether they're all entirely true or not. Again, we don't really know. But I do appreciate him being open, honest, transparent. I think we need more of that in the League of Legends scene, in the esports scene in general. And hey, somebody actually, being in a position where they can come out and say things and say what's on their mind, I think is always great. So Alphari, thank you so much. I do appreciate this. I'm glad your story is finally being told because I know it was a very, very interesting one last year and one that so many people have wondered about. But hey, go check out the video for yourself. Make your own thoughts and opinions and all that. So definitely drop a like if you guys did enjoy this video. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about the whole situation? Do you think Alphari was in the right, wrong, Jat was right, wrong, everyone was right, everyone was wrong? I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.